Hello, welcome back to Plannercraft. I'm Natalie, and today I am going to have a total change of plan to what I was saying to Tracy earlier, and we are going to be doing a little bit of playing with some alcohol ink. So if you were watching earlier in the week, you'll have seen Ian create this piece onto acrylic where he was playing with the etch quill to do the little lion that you probably can't see just at the moment, but all will become clear. And then he did some foiling with some of our black foil onto the acrylic. So we're going to be working from the back. So before I go too far, do you want to do hellos, Ian?
Currently the only person I know is there. We have Delcy and Linda. She's popped up as well.
Okay. So we do have a 5-item challenge planned for Monday, don't we?
We do.
That was what I was going to put in this slot, and then we changed our mind last minute. So, just to finish this week off nicely, I thought I would finish off all the open projects on the desk. So this is one to kind of get finished and get ready to be displayed.
Dulcie as well. So good morning.
Morning. So I'm going to start off with a pro marker in Sleigh Bell.
And Sally.
Hi Sally. And I'm going to outline so that I can see where I'm going a little easier, because it is a bit of a struggle.
Morning, Deb.
So this is the lighter of 3 gold colours that I've picked out. So when you're wanting to create gold, you kind of need 3 different tones to do it, so it looks good without necessarily going to a gold pen.
Morning, Tracy. Morning, Beatrice. And morning, Carol.
So I was saying, Tracy, we've had a change of plan to when I was chatting to you. So, as I was saying, when you're creating gold, you want to have 3 choices of pen available. You want a fairly light yellow ochre. You want a sort of mossy green to do your shadows with, and then a nice brown. And you'll find that when you have those colours, that mossy green isn't going to look that green. So hopefully now you can start to see the shape as I'm working my way around. You're going to adjust my camera framing again, are you? Did I not get it quite right?
Just off screen. That's better.
So the colours that I've picked, the first one is a pro marker, but the other 2 can be Spectrum Noir markers, so it doesn't matter what brand you go for, it's the colour that's important. And on this one it doesn't even matter if it's a brush tip or if it's a... Yeah, well, Ian's decided that he wants to do, as part of the 5-item challenge, some melt and mould. So, as a case of, I wanted to do a couple of little checks before we went live, as I haven't tried it on the DX, so I just want to make sure it all works okay before I go live with it, because there's nothing worse than going live and then realising that there's an issue. So with the light colour, I'm going to fill in most of my... It isn't a lion, is it? It's a griffin. Is it a lion?
Yeah, it's not got wings.
I suppose, yeah. Like an heraldic lion though, isn't he?
Green parcel arrived this morning, thank you. That's okay.
Yay!
Yay.
Okay.
post back on form. And your mum's in.
Hi Mum. So if you do go wrong anywhere, I'll show you how to clean it up in a minute. Because it's easy to go wrong when you're working with something that's so pale. I wish I could say that you can, wherever I can see this clearer than you can, but probably not. So. Sorry we couldn't stream yesterday either. I was trying to catch up on some projects that need to go travelling, don't they? Okay, so I've done my first coat, so I can see where my line is, and there's a little tiny bit that I just went outside the lines there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a cotton wool bud and a little bit of rubbing alcohol.
Mixing alcohol's not that good.
Yeah, don't mix your alcohol.
And Sally says her foils came yesterday. Just good.
And I'm just going to clean up just there. You only need the lightest touch, and that one's done. So now we can go to our next darker pen. So there shouldn't be too much difference in these, but it should just be enough to kind of add a little shading. Might even go a little bit darker actually. Let's go a bit darker. What? Oh. Yeah, I haven't got my mic pack attached to me today because I can't know where to put it, have I? So I've had to attach it to the desk. Let's try that one. There we go. Just want something that's a little bit darker to build in some shading. There is like a sort of whirring fan somewhere, isn't there?
I think it's the washing machine downstairs.
So as much as we can apologise, there isn't a lot we can do about it. Mind you, you said it was trying to pick something up before you touched the mic, didn't you? I wonder if we've got a little bit of interference. So I'm just going around the edges and just bringing in some shading.
Could be the lamp that's interfering.
Can't see it would be. Tell you what, there you go, try that. Let us know if it's any quieter now. Okay, so I'm just going round the claws.
There's a static sound today. It's gone now.
It's gone now.
It's the lamp.
It's the lamp. That's not good, is it? So,
Yeah, so.
naughty lamp.
Shit lamp.
So I'm just gonna work my way around. What's that?
Much better. There you go. A lamp. Who'd have thought?
A bit worrying though, because it's only like a little USB one, isn't it?
Well, it's always had a bit of a hum to it when you turn it on.
What, that one?
No, no, it was the main.
Oh, you think it was the main one rather than the one it was attached to?
Yeah. So I have the same in the kitchen. I put the kitchen one on.
Okay. Now I have a walnut and it should come out fairly dark. So we'll see how we go. I'm going to do this right on the edge. So as you're working on acrylic, you're never going to get perfect blenders if you're doing it on paper. But we can almost do like a bit of a dot effect and stipple it to get your blending. So what exciting things can we talk about today then, Ian?
What exciting things can we talk about? Might find out what our mystery parcel is today.
Oh yeah, yep, there's that.
That's due to turn up at some point. If anybody's been following the saga on Facebook, we have a mystery parcel turning up. We don't know what it is. It's been delivered by Hermes, which is novel. What else have we got that we can actually discuss?
I think you can talk about the blog thing in a bit of a wider sense of the term. I think we're going to start doing some for other people, which is exciting.
Yeah. Can't say who yet, can we?
No.
No, but we have a couple of people who we've been asked to do blog pieces for. So we're going to be doing those, so there's going to be quite a few blog pieces popping up every now and then. I don't think there's anything else there.
We've got an exciting video coming up, haven't we, that we'll be doing. Well, video or stream.
Have we?
Yeah. Oh dear, somebody has no memory.
It'll be as much a surprise to me as it is to you.
It's no good, I'm going to have some scrap paper on my desk or something.
Which one?
It's just a scrap piece of paper and I'll...
That's okay, later, it's fine.
Oh dear. Ian's giving that look of, yeah, okay. Forgotten that. I'm just going to go back in with a pale colour and I'm just going to pick out the heart from our foil design as well. And what's good about doing this is a really forgiving medium to put your alcohol inks onto. So although you can't get the perfect blends between colours, you can actually quite easily wipe out mistakes. So my thinking was that I was going to have this bit quite sharp and then I was going to have it so it blends out towards this back bit. So
Do you want to just turn it over so they can see what it looks like on the other side.
There you go. So far we have that. And I'm just going to pull out some pens that are going to match my inks more or less. It might be an exact match, but we'll get as close to as we can. Let's go.
Hey. Beth said, does it dry quicker? And Tracy said she's moved to the iPad because it worked, and she's worked out to change it to her. Yay.
Okay, so in terms of does it dry quicker? Yeah, yes it does.
Okay, turn it back over.
It does dry fairly quick. So I've pulled out some of the plume pens. So remember how I was saying that the brush tip to the normal tips won't make a lot difference on here. So, and then we have that one. So I'm going to use that to go around this side of my lion, and then as we start to move back we can start to use our alcohol inks. So I have red pepper, raisin and eggplant, and then I have a felt applicator that I'm going to be using to blend those out.
It's a lion, Tracy. I think it's supposed to be.
It's like a heraldic lion, isn't it, though? It's not a lion. So again, I'm going to start off with palest colour. Work my way around.
Yes, we used the H quill to draw it with on Wednesday.
Yeah, because we didn't stream yesterday, did we?
Yeah.
So it must have been Wednesday.
Yeah, so on Wednesday we used the H quill.
Squeaky! So yeah, they will
Yeah, it
squeak.
looks like a Gryffindor from Harry Potter though. Yeah, it's the same sort of thing. And then we foiled it with the black foil, didn't we?
Yes, the black gloss, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because we're going to be having some black matte coming, hopefully, when we can do that. So,
Squeaky pad,
I can't help it, it's just what it does, it squeaks.
Is that the H quill that you've ordered all black?
Okay, so at the moment that red's probably looking quite bright and not quite what I have in mind, but it's there to form a base and then we can work more into it.
Worse than a chair, or was it the door?
I don't know, both squeak, don't they?
Yeah, what did I say? Is it still squeaking? Yeah. Not bad as it was.
No. So I'm just going to cut him around this his belly. Okay. And of course you can still foil your alcohol on when you're working onto something like acrylic or Yupo. So all those little bits of foil that you have left over from your foil quill, don't throw them away. You can use them on your alcohol ink.
Hi Marion. Good to see you this morning.
Okay. Dee. There, there. You just need to do around his head because we don't want to lose that detail there. You can lose his tail, but you can't lose his head.
hope your animal isn't scared of mice. He might get up and run off the page.
The lion that was afraid of the mouse. I need to find it was an alcohol pen. It's like carefully around his ear. Made me jump. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm going to go to my next darkest.
Don't mean too far.
Try not to. And I'm just picking out little random bits because I want this background to be more abstract. Okay, but just going underneath his foot so that he has a sense of actually standing on something. You want to go a little bit darker. And as you start to move towards the outside of your piece, you can leave that for your big blending tool to do the work. Do. A little bit in there. And round here. Just chuck that bit in there too. Anywhere that's looking a bit patchy, we can go in and just tidy that up. Yeah, okay, Ian. There we go. A bit in there. And just tidy up this edge here, it's a bit wobbly. So the wetter your pens are, the more of an interesting effect you're going to get, because with a wet pen it's going to actually bleed and start to create some interesting textures. Okay, let's just do that bit in there. I can't see at the moment, Ian, because I've had to take my glasses off to be able to see my line. I think the plan is that eventually we'll frame it, isn't it, Ian?
Yeah.
But it's one of those ones that you need like a floating frame for, so that you get light in through the back of it, and then you'll really see it pop much better then. Okay, let's come in with our darkest colour.
That's okay, Beatrice.
What's that?
It's got to go.
Ah.
Check later to see how it's doing.
Okay.
Hands out.
So first thing I'm going to do in terms of using my blending tool is I'm just going to put a little bit of alcohol. Right. And then I'm going to do this really carefully so I don't touch too much of what I've already done. And that's just going to help it kind of float a bit when we start doing our first few colours. So, I'm going to start off with a red pepper. And I'm going to add 1 drop of the raisin. Now these are quite bold colours, so less is definitely more at this stage. You can always add more, but yeah.
Just show it bottom side up before you, so you can't see you putting it onto the...
There we go. So you've got 2 drops of the red pepper. The top drop is the raisin, and then the bottom drop is the eggplant. So you'll see that as we start to touch our alcohol marker that we've already drawn on, it's going to start to blend in a bit. So if at this stage you're thinking, well actually I'm going to go a little bit strong with that red pepper. Let's drop a little bit more on there. There we go.
I don't think I'd like to eat those together though. No.
What? The red pepper, the raisin and the eggplant? Just because I'm way of time, I want to get a little bit stronger, a little bit quicker. So the other joy of working with alcohol inks. Okay. Do work onto a messy mat, that's the other thing I should have said. Because chances of you going off the edge are actually quite high with this one. Come on. There we go. Huh? Oh right, yeah. Cool. So where we've got the alcohol already on our blender, it's gonna do some interesting things with the colours. and you can always go back in and add more drops if you want to. And okay. So you want to try and keep the alcohol away from your line if possible. What?
Cat's just been sharing him like a Bovril with baby girl. She can't have helped himself.
Bovril. Wow. Okay, let's get a new felt. Just because I want one that's a little bit drier now.
Tracy's asked why half colour and half alcoholic. Is there a special thing that it does, or is it just a look you're after?
It's a look that I'm after because I want the line to kind of start to dissolve, is my plan. But we'll see how we go. Because eventually what I want to do is go back into it with the pale of the gold colours, so that I can kind of have him trailing out that way. So he actually looks like he's moving as such. But we'll see how we go. So you can see where we've got our little drops. Might make them a little bit bigger just to help you see a little bit better. Just because we want that texture so it looks like it's starting to splat. So we can always pull back some of the areas in your heart if you do end up covering up more than you mean to. But as you build up your layers, you're going to see that you get like this dotty texture anyway. Now I don't mind if it goes on my mat, but if you're bothered, just pop a little bit of waste paper underneath. If you have the Rainier Ghost ink, you can also use that to get it up off your mat. That works really well. So just try and blend those colours in there a bit. Just going to do a little bit in there too. So he starts to look like he's dissolving at this little bit at the back, and maybe a little bit in there. Just beware though, because you're working on acrylic, every so often turn it over so that you have a clean white piece for you to judge your texture against. Otherwise you might think something's there that isn't there. So I still want to go a bit darker down this edge, and I need to bring some of this red tone here over here. So to do that, let's grab my pen and we can actually go straight into it and scribble onto it and squeak. And then I'm just going to blend it in. Let's pop a little bit over here too. Go back to my eggplant just to go there.
Lights behind it, so
oh yeah, it would look great with some lights behind it if you do like a shadow box instead. May do that. May do that rather than getting a floating frame for it. It's easier to do that. Floating frames are a bit hard to come by, aren't they? So let's turn it over before I try and mix a bit more. So we still need a little bit of a blend here and a little bit of a blend there. Just because, let's see if I can get some out there just to try and get that colour to blend through. There we go. I just want some little dots of it rather than... And you'll notice as you do this, it starts to get really sticky. And when it's sticky, is when you can add the foil to it. Now obviously we're working on the back with this piece, but if you were working on the front, then you could use some coloured foils to bring out your design. So I'm just going to dot that on there so it kind of mimics that texture. And probably a little bit around here. Just so we start to do a little bit that's going to follow the form of our lettering. There we go. So let's do another check. So I'm going back to the raisin. I'm just going to do a little bit along that edge. Just darkens it down a bit and blend that bit in there. And yep, that's kind of what I got in mind. So now I'm just going to grab my lightest colour, which was my Pro marker. Just going to tidy up this edge here. Yeah, it's really difficult to not put your hand in it at this point because it's going to be really sticky. Okay, and the rear end of the line. There you go. Just tidy that bit up. There we go. And a little bit just in there. I'm just wondering whether to be brave or not, because going on the back it's going to go silver rather than colour. So I think I'm going to leave it like that. So if I get a fresh piece of white or two, you'll be able to see it a lot clearer. Oh, it's okay. I'll pop these back in there in a minute. There we go. So you can see what it looks like when it's done. Do I need to move up a little bit? Okay. There you go. Yep. There's quite a delay today, isn't there? A little bit more. There we go. So, any questions before we go? Or shall we call it a day at that? So we'll be back Monday with the Fire Item Challenge, which one of Ian's items is melt and mould, isn't it? You want to do. So we're going to have a play with that first.
Jay says it's something different from you and that. Marion says great. Jay says I like it. You get a grape from Delcy.
So it's a good way to use your scan and cut in with your alcohol. And you can also work onto the front, and if you get the Sharpie pen holder from Carl and a Sharpie pen, you can actually get the Sharpie to draw your outline and work from there, because they're alcohol based too.
You got grape from Delcy, and Linda says she loves it. Well, that's lovely, sorry.
Cool. So we will see you Monday, unless you are on one of the 2 courses that are running this weekend. So if you are booked onto tomorrow, which is Canvas Online, you're going to have Ian in the morning and me in the afternoon is the plan. So we'll see how we go.
And then Canvas Desktop on Sunday.
Yeah, which should probably give me more me, isn't it?
We'll see. See how you feel.
Yeah. So take care, and we'll see you later. Bye.